One of the truly most delightful guys, I think, in entertainment, whenever he pops up on screen, you just think you're going to have a good time, is Danny McBride. Now, Danny McBride has also kind of tried his hand at screenwriting with understandably some mixed results. For example, he kind of broke out with The Foot Fist Way, which is like all-time classic. Then he did Your Highness, which is not the strongest material that he's had. Then he did the Halloween trilogy that he wrote, which I really liked the 2018 first one he did. I thought it kind of went to the crapper after that. And then it's just best if we all forget about The Exorcist Believer. But you guys heard probably about a week or so ago, word started going around that Paramount was going to be looking at him to write a G.I. Joe movie. Well, and I said, going to call myself out here. I said, you know what? I don't think this is going to happen. Like, he'll probably write a treatment. I don't think this is going to happen. Well, forget that, because according to Deadline now, it's not only is he writing a G.I. Joe movie, but apparently he is going to, for the first time in his career, direct it as well. This comes to us from Deadline, who writes, after being tapped to pen the next G.I. Joe movie at Paramount, Danny McBride is now set to make his directorial debut on a new feature film of the classic Hasbro toy franchise. Plot details are being kept under wraps at this time. Let me guess, they're fighting Cobra. Though sources say this is certainly a high priority at the studio now that McBride is on board to direct. All right. I have thoughts. Let me start with the fact that I really like Danny McBride. Like I said earlier, whenever he pops up in something, it gets my attention. He always puts a smile on my face. I just like the guy as a performer. That said, I have thrice issues with this. Number one, Danny has not yet shown himself to be a particularly consistent, strong screenwriter. Like I said, I thought he did a bang up job with that first Halloween movie, but everything else to me has been, well, shaky. The second thing is, much like we were talking about, I keep freezing on his name, Jonathan, the guy who directed X-Men Dark Phoenix. And wrote 1,000 movies, including a bunch of X-Men stuff. And I'm freezing on his name now, but
it's
a guy who is well-versed in all, the
Simon Kinberg.
Thank you, Simon Kinberg.
Yeah.
Who we hung out with one night in a toy line. But I brought up concerns when I said, I don't know if an X-Men movie is a good idea to make your first film that you direct. And we saw how that turned out. I'm not sure if something like a high profile property like a G.I. Joe is a good idea for Danny to make his first directorial effort. So again, not that it couldn't turn out great. It could. I just think I have some concerns with it. The third problem, guys, that I have with this, or maybe not problem, but concern. The third concern I have with this is, should they even be making G.I. Joe right now? I mean, we just came out of Masters of the Universe, which, 80s nostalgia, toy fever dreams of dudes my age and younger. I mean, it seemed like a good idea, and absolutely nobody went to it. The lesson we learned is not that many people cared about, or today care about Masters of the Universe or He-Man. And I just don't know that there is an audience out there that is lining up. As a matter of fact, there have been 3 live action G.I. Joe movies. The first one with Channing Tatum, I think, made about $300 million. The second one with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson also made around $300 million. And then that Snake Eyes, I almost said Storm Shadow movie. The Snake Eyes movie, which should have been awesome, was definitively not, and made about
the elements were there.
Bucks. The elements, I mean, you had the right guy. Anyway, made about $40 million. So I'm not sure about Danny as a screenwriter for it. I'm not sure about Danny as a director for it, even though I like Danny a lot. And I'm just not sure that there's an audience right now for a G.I. Joe movie. Anyway, Ryan, you hear Danny McBride writing, directing a G.I. Joe film for Paramount. What are your thoughts?
Well, this was a bake-off, right? Like they had his script and they had somebody else's.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
I first must also say I love Danny McBride as well. Eastbound and Down is foundational humor for me.
Yeah.
Right. And then the same team did Observe and Report, which I really liked when it came out. So I'm a big fan. I didn't like Your Highness, but we'll put that aside for now. The thing, you hit the nail on the head, right? So Transformers came out. That's another 80s property. That came out in 2000 when it was part of the 20-year nostalgia cycle.
Yes.
And then then those movies became their own franchise. So kids who grew up with it didn't know the 80s cartoons, they knew that. And then you had G.I. Joe. Those movies came out about 10 years ago. So you might get kids from that. But Masters of the Universe is on a 40-year nostalgia cycle, which would be like if my dad was into like Benny Goodman records in the 1980s. It doesn't make any sense. So, and the other problem with Masters of the Universe that makes me go, ooh, I wonder what he's going to do with G.I. Joe, is who is Masters of the Universe for? Because when I watched it, I was like, okay, it's not embracing this. It's not just for kids. It's tongue-in-cheek. It's trying to be Guardians. It undermines its own seriousness. It's not super dark like the Kevin Smith series. It tried to be a lot of things to a lot of people. That's what I'm curious about here. Like, I wasn't even allowed to watch G.I. Joe when I was a kid, and I really want to see this movie because I'm not sure if Danny McBride is going to embrace the camp and make it feel like a cartoon where it's red lasers versus blue lasers, or if he really loves this property and sees something deeper in the ever-growing conflict between G.I. Joe and Cobra.
This is going to be one of those situations for me where I'm pessimistic, but I'm really hopeful because I want to see Danny succeed at this, and I would love to see a great G.I. Joe movie. I have some apprehensions that it could happen. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Danny McBride is going to, who we all like around here, is going to write, direct a G.I. Joe movie. Good idea? Bad idea? Do you care? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mars Men. You know, one of the things that catches a lot of us guys off guard as we get older is that staying in shape isn't quite as straightforward as it used to be. You can be putting in the same effort at the gym and watching what you eat, but your body just doesn't seem to respond the way that it did a few years ago. A big reason for that is that testosterone levels naturally decline as men age. And that's where today's sponsor, Mars Men, comes in. Mars Men is a natural supplement designed to support healthy testosterone levels with top-notch ingredients. It's made in the USA, third-party tested, contains no synthetic hormones or weird stimulants, and is designed to support healthy testosterone levels, weight management, exercise performance, and overall energy. They also back it up with a 90-day money-back guarantee, which is key. And according to the company, over 91% of users reported higher energy levels. For a limited time, our listeners can get 50% off for life, plus free shipping and 3 free gifts at mengotomars.com. That's mengotomars.com for 50% off and 3 free gifts when you check out. And it's also available on Amazon. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them our show sent you.